Welcome back everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm genuinely excited to have you here because what we're about to talk about might completely change the way you look at the small coins you carry in your pocket every day. Today's story is about an ordinary-looking coin that most people would never think twice about, a simple 10-cent piece, yet one that has captured imaginations with claims of extraordinary value. We're diving deep into the Liberty 1 dime 1999 USA coin, a coin with a face value of just 10 cents, but one that has been discussed with an astonishing potential worth of $788,000 million. That contrast alone is enough to make anyone pause, but the real fascination lies in how such a difference between face value and potential worth could even be possible. At first glance, the 1999 Liberty 1 dime appears completely normal. It's small, light, and familiar. Millions of people have handled these coins without ever giving them a second thought. They've been used to buy snacks, dropped into tip jars, forgotten in car cup holders, and buried in jars filled with loose change. Nothing about them screams treasure. And yet, hidden within the massive number of dimes minted in 1999 is the possibility that a tiny handful of them are dramatically different from the rest. To understand how this can happen, we need to take a journey into the world of coin production. The United States Mint is designed to create uniformity. Every coin is supposed to look exactly like every other coin of the same type. But the reality of mass production is that absolute perfection is nearly impossible. In 1999, the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P Mint mark, was producing coins at an enormous scale. High-speed presses struck thousands of coins per minute, day after day. When machines operate at that level, even the smallest deviation can leave a permanent mark. Every dime begins its life as a blank piece of metal known as a planchet. These planchets are made from a copper core clad in layers of nickel. Sheets of metal are rolled to a precise thickness, punched into discs, cleaned, and prepared for striking. At each step, there is potential for something to go wrong. A planchet could be slightly too thick or too thin, improperly bonded, or contaminated with foreign material. If a flawed planchet makes it into the press, the resulting coin carries that flaw forever. Planchet errors are some of the most intriguing and valuable possibilities. A 1999 Liberty 1 dime struck on an imperfect planchet might weigh more or less than it should, show unusual coloration, or have missing sections of metal. Lamination errors can occur when layers of metal fail to bond properly, causing parts of the coin's surface to peel or flake away. These are not damages caused by wear, they are errors that occurred at the moment of creation. One of the most dramatic planchet-related possibilities is a wrong planchet error. This happens when a coin is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a different coin altogether. The result can be a dime design on a planchet that is the wrong size, thickness, or composition. Such a coin would stand out immediately, and its rarity would place it in an entirely different category of value. Once a planchet enters the striking press, even more things can go wrong. The planchet is supposed to sit perfectly centered between the obverse and reverse dies. If it doesn't, an off-center strike occurs. An off-center 1999 dime might show only part of the design, with blank metal visible where the planchet missed the dies. The more off-center the strike, the more dramatic the appearance, and the greater the potential value, especially if the date and mint mark remain visible. Broad strikes are another striking error that collectors find fascinating. Normally, a collar surrounds the planchet during striking to form the coin's edge. If the collar fails or is missing, the metal spreads outward when struck. The result is a coin that is wider and thinner than normal, often with a smooth edge instead of reading. A broad-struck 1999 Liberty 1 dime would be instantly recognizable and highly collectible. Multiple strikes are among the most visually striking errors. If a coin fails to eject properly after being struck and is hit again by the dies, the design can appear doubled, overlapped, or rotated. Some coins show 3 or more strikes, creating chaotic and fascinating patterns. These coins are living records of mechanical malfunction, frozen in metal. A multi-struck 1999 dime would be considered a showpiece error. Then there are die-related errors, which add another layer of intrigue. Dies are hardened steel tools used to imprint the design onto coins. Over time, they wear down, crack, or break. When this happens, the damage is transferred to every coin struck by that die. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin, while die breaks can create raised blobs or missing portions of the design point. One of the most famous and valuable die errors is the doubled die. This occurs during the creation of the die itself. If the die receives more than one impression from the hub in slightly different positions, the resulting coins will show doubled elements. True doubled dies have depth and separation, not flat shelf-like doubling. On a dime, doubling on the lettering, numbers, or Liberty design can dramatically increase value. Mint mark errors are especially important for coins from 1999. At that time, mint marks were still manually punched into the dies at the Philadelphia Mint. This manual process opened the door to repunched mint marks, where the mint mark was applied more than once in different positions. The result can be a doubled, tilted, or misaligned P mint mark. Such errors are highly sought after by collectors. In some cases, mint marks can be misplaced, appearing in unusual locations on the coin. In rarer instances, a mint mark may be missing entirely when it should be present. These anomalies tell a story of human involvement and imperfection within a highly controlled process, and collectors value them for that reason. Among the rarest and most mysterious errors is the mule error. This occurs when the obverse die of one coin is paired with the reverse die of another. Mule errors require multiple failures in quality control and are exceptionally rare. If a 1999 P Liberty 1 dime were ever discovered with an incorrect reverse design, it would instantly become one of the most famous modern U.S. coins. Condition plays a critical role in determining value. Many error coins circulated and show wear, scratches, or damage. While they are still valuable, the highest prices are reserved for coins in exceptional condition. A pristine, uncirculated 1999 P dime with a major mint error would be exponentially rarer than a worn example. Professional grading and authentication become essential at this level. When potential values reach into the millions, collectors and investors demand certainty. Professional grading services examine coins under magnification, verify that errors are genuine and occurred during minting, and assign grades based on condition. Once certified, a coin's status is solidified, and it becomes part of the permanent numismatic record. This brings us to the big question. How can a 10-cent coin be associated with a potential value of $788,000 million? The answer lies in the highest tier of collecting, where traditional price guides no longer apply. At this level, value is driven by extreme rarity, uniqueness, historical significance, and demand among elite collectors. When a coin is truly one of a kind or among only a few known examples, it becomes a trophy piece. Wealthy collectors, institutions, and investors compete for ownership, not just because of the coin itself, but because of what it represents. It becomes a symbol of exclusivity, knowledge, and prestige. In such situations, the price is determined by what someone is willing to pay to secure that unique piece of history. Modern coins like the 1999 P Liberty 1 dime challenge the traditional belief that only ancient or centuries-old coins can be extremely valuable. They show that rarity is not solely defined by age. Errors can happen at any time, and when they do, they can create extraordinary collectibles. Another powerful element of this story is the possibility that undiscovered examples still exist. Millions of 1999 P dimes were released into circulation. Many are still out there today, hidden in coin jars, drawers, rolls from banks, and forgotten collections. The idea that a life-changing discovery could be hiding in plain sight is one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. This possibility encourages people to learn. Collectors study minting processes, error types, and varieties so they can recognize something special when they encounter it. Over time, this knowledge transforms how people see coins. What once seemed boring or insignificant becomes a potential treasure. The Liberty 1 dime 1999 P USA coin represents more than money. It represents a moment in history, a product of human effort, machinery, and chance. Each error tells a story about what happened inside the mint at a specific moment.